No Thursday night, 2 Monday night games, and a stacked Sunday. This Sunday looks pretty good. We have a lot of good matchups this week, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even gonna lie, Higgins. I'm enjoying the two Monday games we've been getting, or the Monday Tuesday. I'd kind of be okay if the NFL went this way. Hey, NFL, if you're listening, Adam Schefter, if you're listening,
Cough, cough.
yeah, exactly. But I've enjoyed the two Monday night games a little bit more than the Thursday game.
I agree. Let's jump into these Sunday games, though. One line that really stuck out to me right out the gate was Baltimore minus 7.5 over the Eagles. Now, the Eagles are not great this year. I mean, they may be near the top of the NFC East. They're sitting in second right now with a 1-3-1 record, but the NFC East is just terrible. The Washington football team, excuse me, they got a win over the Eagles at the beginning of the season. Baltimore just smacked them not too long ago, 31-17. So I think Baltimore wins this by more than one touchdown. I don't mind taking the hook. Minus 7.5. Lock that in.
Yeah, I think that's pick makes a lot of sense. Games in Philly, but I don't really think that'll matter too much. And I think Baltimore's the better team.
I agree. There's also a NFC East matchup between the Giants and Washington, and somehow the Giants are favored 2.5 points here. I don't get it. If it wasn't the fact that I was a fan of a Giants fan, I would be on Washington in this game, whether it be spread or money line. I'd probably be on Washington in that game, but I'm just going to stay away from it in general.
Yeah, you'll hop on the money line, I'm sure. The Chicago Bears are actually underdogs at the Panthers this weekend, and that kind of surprised me a little bit, Higgins. They're 1.5 point dogs, not huge underdogs, but I'm actually going to take Chicago on the money line. If there's one thing that Chicago has done this year, it's win games when people think they're going to lose. So it looks like Vegas has them as losers on Sunday, so I'm going to take them as the winner.
All right, Nick Foles maybe having a bit of a redemption after having a rough week two as the starting quarterback, or at week one as the starting quarterback, week two appearing as the Bears quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see. I look forward to Nick Foles. I mean, he's a bit of a hot button quarterback, right? Like some people love him, some people hate him. I guess I have some affection towards him because I had him on my fantasy team when he went 27-2 with Chip Kelly. That was 27 touchdown passes to 2 interceptions. That was a great year for my fantasy team.
Another game is this Detroit Jaguars versus Jaguars game. The Lions Jaguars. I have no feel on who's going to win this game. I would say though this over under stuck out to me, Brett, and while I'm not on it, 54.5 does seem high for two teams that I don't think are very good at scoring. Their defenses are just atrocious though, I think is where they're getting the 54.5.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. I was like, "Ooh, this might be an under," and then I was like, "Actually, who's gonna tackle anyone?" So I'm staying away from that game as a whole, also. But
I could see it a 28-21 type game though, like 49 points.
I to be honest with you, I'm leaning Jacksonville plus 150 on the money line, just because it's a home game for the Jags. They have some fans that are allowed to attend their games, so maybe there is a little bit of an impact. But I don't know. I'm the Lions and the Jaguars. I don't even want to watch that game. So why do I want to bet on it? I want to save my money for a game I want to watch, like the great Falcons Vikings game between two elite franchises. And Atlanta is 4.5 point dogs in this one. But here's a little stat for you, Higgins. And it's not a real stat. It's just a, a good
It's a
thing
Brett
that
Levy
happened
stat.
last week. The Texans fired their coach and then won their game by more than 4.5 points, but they won their game outright. Atlanta fired their coach this week. I
And their
expect
GM.
them to win their game, and I don't have plus 175 is what they are on the money line. I don't think that's enough for me to take them on the money line. So I'll just take the 4.5 points and be pleasantly surprised or not surprised when they win outright.
Yeah, I like this pick. I think there's a lot of motivation for Atlanta to play well, especially for Matt Ryan to play well, who the Atlanta owners said earlier this week that he's not sold on Matt Ryan being the future of Atlanta. And Matt Ryan's been there for about 9 years, so being the future of the franchise, I think it's a bit late for that. He already is the franchise. He's been there long enough. He's taken them to a Super Bowl that they pathetically lost. But if you want to move on from Matt Ryan, that's fine. But saying I don't know if he's the future, he already is the franchise. He doesn't need to be the future of the franchise.
Yeah, I think he was just saying he's 35 years old. Like, I don't know. We'll let the next coach decide if we want to start the rebuild right now or if we want to start the rebuild in 3 years where I mean, quarterbacks have lasted longer now. We've seen Breeze, Brady, still going, still playing really well. So I guess maybe that's what he was thinking. I don't know. He was just trying to, I think, deflect the question and say the GM and the coach we hire will make that decision. I don't want to make these roster statements right now during week 5 when, we're trying to hire a new GM and coach.
Yeah, and you clarified it well. Matt Ryan, he is 35. I think I said he's played with them for 9 years. He's actually played there for 13. So if he does move on, it would be the only second franchise that Matty Ice has played for because he was drafted by Atlanta and started right out the gate in 2008. So it would be hard to move on from him, but when it's time, it's time.
Yeah, I mean, he, as crazy as it is, he brought them out of the Michael Vick hole or whatever you want to call it. So Matty Ice has been there for a while, I guess.
Yes, he has. The other game I'm going to be on is the Browns at the Steelers. Now, this is a great AFC North matchup. I think it's going to be a great battle. The line favors Pittsburgh -3 at this point. I like Cleveland on the money line though at plus 150. I really think that the Browns are going to come out as champions this week. I took them as underdogs last week at plus 105. I'm going to take them again as underdogs. They're 4-1 facing off against a 4-0 Pittsburgh team that only got a win last week because they ended up having Chase Claypool end up scoring 4 touchdowns. I don't think they're going to have that success 2 weeks in a row of having one single player score 4 touchdowns. Is Big Ben able to move that ball around enough and get enough points on the board to beat that loaded Cleveland offense? We'll see, but I like the Browns in Heinz Field without the crowd.
So this is a tough one for me because I've liked Cleveland as underdogs all season, and I've really enjoyed watching them play. I think they're pretty good, but I don't know if I'm ready to take them against the Steelers. So I'm just gonna stay away from this one and enjoy it as a fan. But I hope Roethlisberger can play well. He has a very good history of beating up on the Cleveland Browns, a really long history of it. Maybe that is also a reason why I'm fading away from this game. But Cleveland is dogs is a good pick, Higgins. I think they're a strong team, and anytime they're an underdog, I really do think there's a 50-50 shot they could win. So why not get good money on it?
And then the other game that I'm going to be on, I think, is going to be a fantastic game. Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady, the Green Bay Packers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is in Tampa Bay, but I think Green Bay is just too good and Tampa Bay is just a little too injured, a little too banged up. Green Bay at 4-0 so far this season. Tampa's at 3-2. Tampa, they lost a tough one against Chicago last Thursday. Now, they do have a little bit of extra recovery time because it was a Thursday game. Hopefully, that means they can get some more people back on the field. But I think Green Bay is just a little too much to work against right now. And Aaron Rodgers is playing just a little too well. Hasn't thrown an interception yet this season, while Tom Brady's thrown 4. And I think turnovers might make the difference here. So Green Bay -1 is what I'm going to take. I'm going to take them on the spread instead of on the money line at -115.
Yeah, sounds good. And just some quick news and notes. Cam Newton is back with the Patriots from his COVID list. And the Denver Broncos running back Melvin Gordon has been cited for a DUI. So, Pats versus Broncos, Denver's plus 10 right now. So take all that information. And if you think you have a lean in that one, great, go for it. Also, the Jets and Dolphins. The Jets cut Le'Veon Bell this week. And Adam Gase was asked, did your misuse of Le'Veon Bell lead to his cutting? And Adam Gase replied, that doesn't matter anymore. So take that information and bet the house on the Dolphins, -9.
And look for Philip Lindsay and Frank Gore in fantasy football if you need a running back, whether it be because of injuries or because of bye weeks. I mean, Alvin Kamara is on a bye week. For me, I was in the need of a second running back this week. I'm thinking of grabbing Frank Gore. I mean, with Le'Veon gone, he's at the top of the depth chart. Maybe he gets a lot of carries this week against Miami, and Frank Gore is one of those timeless human beings. If you look at the picture of when he came in the league versus now, doesn't look any older. And Frank Gore just has a knack of having that one big game each season that kind of makes him a part of the narrative for a few weeks.
No, he's a good player, and he's definitely one of Gase's guys. I'd be interested in maybe seeing if they get LaMichael Pirine on the field, the rookie out of Florida who they drafted this year. I think probably at this point in their respected careers, Pirine's probably the most talented back on the roster, but Frank Gore, certainly a Hall of Famer, certainly a legend, and well respected, and he's going to get carries, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's gotten over 10 carries in 3 of the 5 Jets games so far this season. You have to expect without Le'Veon Bell, that number is probably going to be over 10 again this week. So
Well, yeah, I mean, just so you're aware, the Le'Veon Bell did spend 3 weeks on IR, so
yeah,
it,
yeah, I know. And who replaced him when he was
yeah,
on IR?
exactly. It was
Frank Gore
Frank
did.
Gore. I just wouldn't expect the carries to increase. I would stay the same.
Well, the 3 weeks that he was on IR were the 3 weeks that he was above 10 carries. The other ones he was at 6 and 9.
Yeah, I'd say 10 to 9 carries, sure, and then Balaj and Pirine also. I think Gore is going to be on the field. To your point.
There will also be 2 Monday Night Football games like we've mentioned already, but we will talk about those on episode 85, which is going to come out on Monday morning. So we will have some more picks for you next week as well.